Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Bryony and I'm one half of the Indecisive Readers. Today I'm here to introduce you to a reading vlog, but it's a weird check-in because I finished the book a week ago and this is like my final check-in, but I'm going to put it in first. And I swear it makes sense because this is my reading vlog for A Day of Fallen Night, but I'm going to start it with my unboxing of the Roots of Chaos from the Broken Binding. It turned up yesterday but I was at work, so I'm going to unbox it with you because although I know what they look like, I'm excited to see them. I've never had a box from the Broken Binding before, so I'm really excited to see what they look like. So they both come in this little kind of package set. It says the Roots of Chaos on the front and they're really nicely like put together. You can tell in some ways they're from a smaller business because they put the effort in. But yeah, so it says it up there. It's kind of like dragon scaly, which is really cool. Very excited. I don't know which one's which. So the first book is The Priory of the Orange Tree. The spreads on the top are like this nice orange colour, and down the side they have like dragons and like orange blossom flowers. Very pretty. Underneath the dust jacket, it's actually orange. I don't think you get many orange hard backs, and that's really cool. So on the front there's like this silver dragon and it says The Priory of the Orange Tree. Then down the spine there's a quote that says, "In darkness we are naked, our truest selves. Night is when fear comes to us at its fullest. When we have no way to fight it, it will do everything it can to seep inside you. Sometimes it may succeed, but never think that you are the night." Then on the back it just continues the silver dragon. And that does of course leave the second one as A Day of Fallen Night. This is, I think, genuinely one of my favourite covers anyway, especially that like back. I just love the colours on it and I love how well it complements Priory. Then on the top it's blue and blue, but in the middle it looks like that. So another like blue dragon with like some feathery things. There are the feathers on the cover, so it kind of ties in. Then on the actual hardback it has a gold dragon and the gold dragon continues on the back. I just realised that this gold dragon is the one off the front and then the silver one on Priory is the one off the back cover. So the quote on the back of A Day of Fallen Night is, "My line shall be a line of queens, my realm a queendom mighty to behold. For she was my strength, the root of my heart, and her memory will live until the end of time itself. I tell you, our house shall be an endless river, a chain long as eternity." I love this book. So then the, what they call the M pages are another dragon. Then on Priory, it's the same dragon, just, you know, like in red. And then they're both signed. Just make me happy. Imagine going to this mansion and signing and these being the books you bring along. So yeah, I'm really happy with these. These are the first books from the Broken Binding I brought, and honestly, what a great like collection, what a great way to package them. 10 out of 10 would buy again.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Bryony and I'm one half of the Indecisive Readers. Today I thought I'd start a reading vlog. I don't know how many check-ins I'll do because I forget to do them. But I'm currently reading the arc of A Day of Fallen Night and I think I'm about 33% of the way through, so I'm a third of the way through. I've been reading it on and off since like October when I got approved for the arc, but then there were just things that had to come out first. But now we're in February and it's the next arc I have to come out, so I'm going to prioritise it. I'm so excited for it, and yeah, I just thought I'd check in, start this. I'm really enjoying it so far. It's really nice to be back in the world of Priory, but like actually seeing it, because in the Priory of the Orange Tree, although you know it's the namesake, we don't get to see much. We see a lot more of like the Innish court, of kind of all the behind the scenes stuff. We do get a bit of time in the Priory, but not loads, whereas we get a lot more of the Priory in A Day of Fallen Night. We also get some more general stuff. We see the North, which I don't think we really saw in Priory. I think they were mentioned. We see more of the Innish court. I really like this princess. She's called Glorian, and I'm pretty sure she's asexual, which is really cool. I'm enjoying that. And yeah, just really excited to see what's about to happen. I feel like there's some big, maybe draconic drama arising currently. So I think that'll be really exciting to see where that goes.
Get the car, come back.
Oh. So it's probably about a week since I last checked in, but I've actually not read this much, which is really frustrating because I so want to read the book. When I read the book, I love it, but I don't think I'm in a reading mood, which is so frustrating. Really want to be in a reading mood. But anyway, this weekend I'm gonna like make a real push to read it in the evenings. I'm gonna read it on my phone and stuff. Just not gonna spend 3 hours scrolling on TikTok. But anyway, at the end of last week, I got to the end of part 2 and it was insane. Like, so much happened. And like, just in a Samantha Shannon book, when characters say, you know what, let's plan a future, I just get really stressed and stuff happens. And then more stuff happens and we see like some really cool stuff in the Priory. I love getting some like more of the history, and like there's like a kind of rank in the Priory of the Orange Tree which wasn't really mentioned in A Day of Fallen Night until the start of part 3, and I thought how they named it was really cool. I thought that was a really nice like little nod to the Priory world. And then there's a character in the like Priory side of A Day of Fallen Night who's really stressing me out because I think she's someone that we know or know about from the Priory of the Orange Tree, and one character trusts her and I don't, and I really want her to like say, shove off, I don't like you, you're giving me bad vibes, but she doesn't know that. So I'm just thinking I'm internally stressing whenever she appears and she's like, oh, I trust her, and I'm like, don't trust her. So let's see how we get on. I think I'm about 42% of the way through, maybe 45. I can't remember whether 42 was the percent I started with or finished with yesterday, but we're getting there, maybe. So I did try and spend a lot of the weekend reading and I really enjoyed what I read. A little bit. I feel like I've not read a really long book in a while, apart from my current audiobook, which is like 38 hours long. It's too long. But anyway, it feels like a while since I've read like a really long book for the first time, because I think I spent like 2 hours at the weekend at least, just like in one sitting reading, and it's like, you've read 5%, which is like 40 pages. So it feels like I'm not getting through it quickly, which is frustrating because I'm really enjoying it, and I don't want to get through it quickly because I'm really enjoying it and I want to savour it. But that, yeah, so much happened. There were so many nods to the Priory world. There are things that won't mean anything if you've not read Priory, but having read Priory, you're like, oh, that's really clever. And it doesn't necessarily mean a lot to the world, but like as a reader, you're like, oh my God. Like there's a place they visit and it's not mentioned a lot in Priory. And now I'm trying to remember whether it's not mentioned a lot because, you know, they just don't go there because, you know, there's only so much you can do, or because of the event that happens in A Day of Fallen Night means they can't go there. So that was really clever. I really liked that. There's lots of little bits like that with the characters, like with names and things. I said last time about routines and traditions that are common in the Priory world but weren't in this one. So I think that's really clever. I wish I was reading this physically because I want to write so many notes. Like my head, I think, is going like 100 miles an hour when I am reading it. So I wish I had somewhere in the book to write that down. I'm highlighting a lot, like the ebook is covered in highlights. And I have my notes app on my phone, but I need to write it down. So what I'm currently doing is making a like spread in my book journal so I can write stuff on there. And I was just gonna do like a little dragon in the middle, but it's turned out quite big, so I'm gonna write over the dragon as well probably. So whether or not I'll colour him in yet, I don't know. But I might also just like stick bits of paper so it folds out. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm gonna sit down and read some tonight after pancakes, because you know it's pancake day. And I'm back in the office tomorrow, so I will read on the bus in the morning and the afternoon. I'll make more of an effort to do it in the afternoon, because sometimes in the afternoon I'm like, oh, I'm so tired, but I want to read this, but I also don't want it to finish, and I really want to get my copy. And then also on Friday there's the event, and there's a big dragon up in London, so I said to Sam, we're gonna go and see it, and he was like, okay. And I was like, do you not want to go? And he was like, going to see like a poster isn't like my idea of a day out. And I'm like, yeah, but we're there, like it's close to the hotel we're staying anyway, so we might as well go for a walk and see a dragon. So yeah, I will check in next time I've read something. I feel like I've got oh, and there was like a character reveal that like really shocked me. But anyway, I will check in once I have more thoughts.
I'm just jumping in here really quickly because I'm happy because I managed to get the Illumicrate Roots of Chaos set. I'm currently working, and I booked like half an hour out to sit and refresh my emails, which I did, you know, I was doing work in the meantime. But we bagged the goods. I'm very happy. They're not going to turn up for Friday, which makes me sad because I still don't know what book I'm going to take with me, but we have them, and so yay. Sam said to me, do we really need one? He was like, I know we're going to end up with another copy, but do we need it? So yeah, yes we do.
Rising to a city that's being tormented by a dragon.
So it's my final check-in, and it's to say I've finished A Day of Fallen Night. This is a final copy, and I can't remember whether or not I said in previous check-ins, but I didn't know what book I was going to bring along to be signed. And then they had these there, like if you brought the book with the ticket, in order to get the pin, which I absolutely did, you could pick up your book there, and I was like actually surprised. So that was really cool. So I have got it signed. But by the time she reached us, I think she was running out of time because there were like 300 people, and if each person was bringing like 2 books to sign and to personalise, she was there for a while. So by the time it reached us, she was just kind of doing names, which is fine. I can always go and get like the quote put in later on. I had an amazing time at the event. Sarah El Arifi is like Samantha Shannon's friend, so they were like really good as like a combination. She moderated the event really well. We also had a reading from C.L. Clarke, and their new book, which is the sequel to The Unbroken, is called The Unfaithless, I think. It's made Sam really want to read it, which is cool, and I think he's also going to check out The Final Strife. But yeah, it was really interesting. I could listen to Samantha Shannon talk about like her writing and how she writes and why she writes and what she writes for hours. She's just so interesting. And yeah, I kind of got to the front of the queue and forgot to tell her just how much I was enjoying it, because I was about 83% of the way through when I got like to the event. I was just like, oh my god, I bet you're worn out, and that's what I said. So honestly, yeah, props to her for doing as many events as she is. But yeah, I've now finished it. It was very intense at the end, but also it's really weird because it's like a standalone book. You know, it's kind of all going to resolve by the end because there's not going to be that sequel. I think there is going to be a sequel because in this, like, fire, much like the Priory of the Orange Tree, is like the main like adversary, whereas stuff happens and maybe they'll be at the opposite of that cycle at some point. So I think she says she'd like to explore that. I do think that would be really interesting. I'm looking forward to, you know, when that eventually comes out. But yeah, because it's a standalone, I knew it's kind of going to wrap up by the end, and it did wrap up. Like, the battle was like really intense, but then there was like an epilogue, which was like, in the book, I don't know how long it was, but it was probably about 5% of the book. So that was like really nice to have that, you know, bit to relax, to check in, to see how it all worked at the end. There were some really interesting things that I've said before that weren't happening at the start of the Day of Fallen Night, but are happening in the Priory. So there were just things that I was like, oh my god, does this happen because of this? And I said it to Sam, and he was like, well, yeah, it's a prequel, you know, stuff happens in the Priory because of this. And I said, no, it's more like traditions and cultures and things they do. And so a couple of those things came true. I predicted one and the other one was a surprise, so that was really nice. I really enjoyed it. I love Glory, and she is like my absolute favourite character now. She has like a proper kind of, I don't know if superhero is the right phrase, but you know, the person who doesn't think they're good enough, isn't strong, and then by the end of it will like charge into battle and will fight for her people. So that was really interesting. I love how it's like a story of women, like a story of sisterhood, even more so than Priory, because we get all these women kind of connecting across worlds. Like in Priory, they kind of all do interact, but in this one we see a lot more of the world despite them not really interacting. There is a point where like they all kind of cross paths, but they're all experiencing the same story in line with each other, which is really interesting, but they so rarely interact. But it's nice to see how, you know, their stories still cross. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the setting, the world, the characters. I love Wolf. I genuinely love this. I love this more than the Priory. I think the Priory of the Orange Tree I loved more as I read, and I absolutely will love this one more as I read it. But because I've read Priory so much, so many things meant a lot in this. Obviously, if you haven't read Priory, they'll still be like really exciting, and then you'll have that thing carrying on when you read Priory, and you'll be like, oh, I remember that from A Day of Fallen Night. But having read Priory first, obviously, yeah. So I had a really, really nice time. I enjoyed it. Cannot wait to reread it. Wish the paperback was coming back soon, because I just want to read an annotator. I wish I'd had like a physical copy, because my Kindle edition I think has like hundreds of highlights, but I couldn't really write notes, or I couldn't easily write notes. However, I have been using my Kindle, which is always really good. And yeah, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, 6 out of 5, you know, had a great time. Cannot wait to read it again. Absolutely recommend. Enjoyed having taken my time to read it. Yeah, just run out there. Look at how pretty the back is. Also, I forgot to say, the event came with a, let me show you. Not only did we get like a little pin of a dragon, but we also got, oh, it's broken now, and a Day of Fallen Night biscuit. It has now snapped in half because it's been in my bag to and from London. But yeah, I'm just happy. Makes me happy. It was a good book. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and comment to let me know you're here. Subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you in another video.